Good evening. Please continue standing for the pledge. Please stand for the pledge. Salome Lasoya will lead us with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Now, please be seated.
Yes. Go ahead. Good evening. My name is Isidoro Nieto, and as principal of Keys Academy, it gives me great pleasure to welcome each and every one of you this evening. Joining us this evening are members of our Harlingen CISD School Board, Central Administration staff, as well as Keys Academy staff. Please join me in welcoming them to our graduations. At this time, I would like to take a moment to introduce each one of our guests. First of all, Dr. Art Cavazos, Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Alicia Noyola, Chief Academic Officer. Mr. Joseph Arial, Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Education. Now our school board members, Mr. Greg Powers, Board President. Dr. Nolan Perez, Board Vice President. Mr. Alado Jaimes couldn't be here today. Mrs. Jerry Florier, Board Member. Dr. Bobby Muñiz, Board Member. Dr. Belinda Reniger, Board Member. And Mr. Javi De Leon couldn't be here today. Also on stage is our Keys Academy staff, our head counselor, Mrs. Maggie Perez Lopez, Mrs. Alma Quintanilla, Mrs. Yvonne Cavazos, Mr. Juan Fraga, Coach and Mr. Rosendo Garza, and Mrs. Karina Lopez. Tonight, we are gathered here in celebration of our Keys Academy students who have met the Harlingen CISD graduation completion standards. I especially want to thank the parents and family members who are here to show their love and support for our graduates. Your presence tonight is a clear indication of your endless support and continued encouragement for your child. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to have served as their principal, and it is truly my honor this evening to certify them as 2018 high school graduates. At this time, it gives me great privilege to introduce Mr. Greg Powers, School Board President, who will share a few words of encouragement.
Good evening, graduates. Good evening. Come on, good evening, graduates. There we go. Good evening, fellow trustees, faculty, parents, and the fantastic Keys Academy class of 2018. It's really an honor. This is one of my special favorite graduation ceremonies each year. I really enjoy the graduation that you all have. And it's really a privilege to be here before you tonight. You know, believe it or not, I graduated in Harlingen just a couple years ago. May 29th, 1971. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm sure you can tell by looking at me, I haven't changed that much, right? No, on a serious note, tonight's really a very, very special night. Each one of you have achieved a great accomplishment this evening. Each one of you have a special story, some with struggles and some with obstacles you've overcome to reach this milestone in your life. I want to share with you this evening a few things that I believe are important lessons for you to carry with you, as you start the next chapter of your life. If you haven't done it by now, today it's time for you to set goals. It's time for you to start planning. Because remember, failing to plan is planning to fail. The first thing I want to talk to you tonight about is choices. I want you to remember that your life is like a highway. You need a road map, but you need to be prepared for unintended detours, confusing signs, and closed roads. Because the road you travel will require you to make important choices in your life. Because if you don't know where you're going, how are you ever going to get there? The ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle once said, "Choice, not chance, determines your destiny, your dreams, and your values." So to help you navigate each of your own highways, I remind you that the word character has two C's in it. One stands for choice and the other for consequences. Every choice you make will result in a consequence. So it's up to you to determine if the choices you make in your life will result in a positive or a negative consequence. So think about sticking this little note on your dashboard as you go down your own personal highway. Living a life of good character doesn't happen by chance, nor does it happen by circumstance or luck. It happens by the choices that we make. I think the idea of choices and circumstances may have best been said by the wise old headmaster Dumbledore when he told Harry Potter, "It's our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. What we make of ourselves, what we make of our lives, is a matter of choice, our choice, and our responsibility." Number two, respect others and always show others that you genuinely care about them. You can easily judge the character of a person by how he or she will treat a person who can do nothing for them. Everyone treats the boss, the president of a company, a judge, or people of similar stature with respect. But how do they treat the waiter who waits on them at a restaurant? How do they treat the clerk at a grocery store who checks them out? How do they treat the receptionist at an office building? People will watch and judge you on one single fact: how you treat people in your life who you cannot benefit from. So it's so important to always be respectful and always show others, regardless of their position in life, that they're important and that you really care about them. Number three, don't wait until tomorrow to start working towards your goals. Time offers each of you opportunity, but time also has a sense of urgency. The other day I read an article in a paper that said there are approximately 30,000 days in the average person's life. I didn't think much about it at first. Then I got my calculator and I punched in my age, and I multiplied it times 365 days. And I've used up 22,000 days, or 73% of my life. It's quite a bit. It made me realize how fast time has flown by. And it also made me realize that there's a lot I want to do in those remaining 8,000 days. Now, each of you sitting here today is probably 17 or 18 years old. That means that you have used up 6,500 days of your life, or you have about 22,500 days left to go out in the world to make a difference and try to make a big change. So I want you to remember this expression. When you get up tomorrow, remember this. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. I want you to think about that. Yesterday's behind you, good or bad. There's nothing you can do to change the past. You can't add days. So it's so important that you make the best of each day. Get up every day and with the idea and the goal of being the best that you can be. Finally, I want to talk to you about your parents. A large part of you being here tonight and achieving this milestone in your life is due to the love, devotion, and the sacrifice that your parents, and in some instances your grandparents, have made for each of you. You should know that tonight they're as proud of you tonight as they were the day they first saw you walk. And you won't know really how much your parents love you until someday when you have children of your own. And only then will you realize why your parents would literally sacrifice everything they have for you. So always remember to show your parents how much you love and care for them. Tomorrow or tonight, when you leave, remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. That choices have consequences, and the choices you make will determine your future. Always show others respect and that you genuinely care about them. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't put off till tomorrow things you need to get done and to start working towards your goals in life. And finally, always show your parents how much you love them. Don't try to make your life perfect, but try to make it a really great adventure. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we wish you joy, happiness, and great success. Congratulations, and God bless each of you.
Thank you, Mr. Powers, for your words of encouragement for our students. One of the things that we ask our students to do when they complete their credits is to write an exit letter. This gives the students time to reflect about why they came to Keys and what it took them to be successful during the time attending Keys Academy. Their letters also give us a little insight as to what they have gone through in order to earn the privilege of receiving a high school diploma. At this time, I ask the following students to read their letters. For, Alyssa Lopez, will you please come up?
Good evening, Dr. Cavazos, Harlingen CISD administrators, distinguished guests, family, friends, and fellow graduates. I would like to start by thanking all of you for being present tonight. Before I begin, may we celebrate our graduates with a round of applause? We've worked so hard to be on this stage today. Through all of the trials and tribulations, Keys Academy has never stopped pushing its students towards success, which is the result of the magnificent faculty and staff at Keys. They are partly the reason I'm able to stand here today and give my thanks. Please join me in giving the Keys faculty a round of applause. Every student that walks the halls at Keys has a story. Each one is different. I transferred from La Feria ISD and chose to attend Keys Academy based on what I've heard from family members who are former students of Keys. I've heard that Keys was a school for those that wanted to finish earlier, for those who need to catch up, or for those that had dropped out and needed a second chance on finishing their education. Because Keys has fewer students than traditional high schools, students get the attention and focus needed from their teachers to fully comprehend the concepts needed to further our learning beyond high school. My story begins when I was a freshman. I had half a credit, and I was behind a grade level. I was supposed to be a sophomore. Within my first semester, I gained enough credits to be on grade level. I found that if you dedicated yourself to your studies and work hard, you could meet any goal. I set my goal to catch up, and I achieved it. I love Keys. It transformed me as a person. It helped me grow to be the best version of myself. I would first like to thank Ms. Guerra for being my best role model through the 3 years that I've been with the school. To Mrs. Garcia, thank you for the amazing job opportunity at the daycare. I'm going to miss working with the babies. To my counselors for being my motivators to keep pushing myself to the last credit, as well to my principal, Mr. Nieto, for really changing this school around for the better. I'm excited for this new chapter, but also nervous. Change can be scary, but if I've learned anything from Keys, it's to stay driven, have faith, and acknowledge that I can prevail adversity. I'm happy to be moving forward. To bring my speech to a close, I'm proud to say that I will be attending TSTC in the fall to study nursing. I hope that one day I can make an impact on someone's life the same way these teachers have made one in mine. On that note, I would like to thank all the teachers for their dedication to every student's success. I would especially like to thank Ms. Cavazos for the years she's committed to Keys Academy. You are the spirit of our school. Your diplomatic nature, drive, and kindness are the qualities that set the standard for teachers and students alike. Your presence will be greatly missed at Keys Academy. Enjoy your retirement. It is well deserved. So everyone, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'm truly blessed and grateful to have all of you as my teachers.
Thank you, Alyssa. Our next speaker is Salome Lasoya, part of the Superintendent Advisory Committee. Salome, come on up.
Good evening, Dr. Cavazos, administrators, teachers, parents, and fellow graduates. Before I begin, I want to give a special thanks, first of all, to God, for whom all things are possible. I'd also like to thank Dr. Cavazos for giving me the opportunity to be a member of his exceptional Student Advisory Board. It was an honor to serve on the committee, sir. As my fellow classmates stated, we all have our stories, and tonight I will share mine. My journey began when I was in the 7th grade. During this time, I was living in Victoria, and like many teens and adults, I struggled greatly with social anxiety. I hated large crowds. I disliked having interactions with anyone due to being bullied in my previous school years. This led to me not wanting to go to school. To me, it was better to drop out than rather going through the constant battles. This eventually led to a truancy issue. I had poor attendance. I was failing all my classes, I was losing myself and becoming distant from my loved ones. Life was difficult. There were many times I wanted to give up, and eventually I did. When I moved to Harlingen, I felt like I was given a fresh start, and I wanted to go back to school. I prayed and had hope that one day God would guide me onto the path I was meant to be on. And long story short, I was destined to be a student at Keys Academy. On my first day, I was very nervous. I felt like my heart was sinking down into my stomach as I squeezed my poor grandmother's hand. I feared that Keys would be a repeat of my old life, but I took a leap of faith, and I soon fell in love with Keys Academy. I loved how every single teacher is determined and persistent in helping each student better themselves, not just in academic readiness, but in conduct and attitude. My first year, I started with 0 credits, but left that school year as a sophomore. My second year, I worked hard to find myself standing on this stage tonight. Perseverance, encouragement, and dedication made me successful. I put my heart, my faith, and my trust in God that I would graduate. And at this time, I would like to thank my mom and aunt, who every single morning drove me from Donna to Harlingen for school. I would like to thank Mr. Nieto for accepting me into his humble school. Thank you for giving me a second chance to fix my past mistakes, to better myself, and to pave the way for my future success. Thank you to all the teachers that helped me grow at Keys. Ms. Lopez, thank you for instilling my love for Shakespeare. Mrs. Guerrero, for polishing the diamond in the rough. You saw my potential before I could. Mr. Fraga, before I disliked math, and now I understand and appreciate it more. Thank you to Ms. Martinez, the school librarian, who I considered a very good friend of mine. And to the rest of the staff and faculty, thank you from the bottom of my heart. My time at Keys has been the most enjoyable and memorable experience of my life. The memories and all the friends I have made will forever be with me. Though it gives me a pang in my heart to be saying goodbye, and I will miss you all very much. However, this is not the end, it's the beginning. Congratulations to the class of 2018. We made it.
Thank you, Salome and Alyssa. Great job in your speech. Seniors, will you please stand? We'll wait for Salome as she comes. All right. Dr. Cavazos, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to present to you the senior class of 2018. The students before you have met all the requirements set forth by the Texas Education Agency, Harlingen CISD, or Senate Bill 673. Congratulations.
So first of all, I'm going to go off script a little bit and thank Mr. Nieto and his staff for an incredible job. The students before you face adversity in their lives and you help them overcome it, so we're forever grateful, and thank you for what you do every day. So some of you might not know, but my journey in education, actually, I was a founding counselor of a school very similar to Keys Academy, and who would have thought that 20 years later I would be certifying graduates. And so it's a great honor, and I'm humbled to do it. So board members, parents, and family members, as the superintendent of schools and with the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the state of Texas, it is with great honor that I present and certify that the students before you have satisfied all the requirements for graduation set forth by the Texas Education Agency and the requirements set forth by Harlingen CISD. This certification allows our students to participate in tonight's commencement ceremonies and be recognized for their accomplishments. Students, you must realize that tonight does not signify the end of your learning, but rather the beginning of a new and exciting chapter of your promising future. I'm very proud of your commitment to earn your high school diploma. You have demonstrated the importance of perseverance. There will be great moments mixed in with tough ones as you persist in your next chapter. But never give up. Persevere. I ask you to be phenomenal and not forgotten. There's a few quotes that I'm going to share with you that kind of signifies my advice to you. Roy Bennett said, "Your hardest times often lead to the greatest moments of your life. Keep going. Tough situations build strong people in the end, and you're proof of that tonight." Ralph Emerson said, "The only person you're destined to become is the person you decide to be." So make a decision and do the right thing. Stay true to yourself. And finally, if you don't have integrity, you have nothing. You can't buy it. You can't have all the money. You can have all the money in the world, but if you are not a moral and an ethical person, you really have nothing. So protect your name, protect Keys Academy brand, protect the HCISD brand, and more importantly, make a great future for yourself. You're already on your way. Stay focused and stay resolved. As your superintendent, I'm super proud of you. And remember what they teach you at Keys. Failure is not an option, and you've proven that tonight. Thank you, and you may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Cavazos. Seniors, will the first line up so we can you receive your diplomas? Lisa and Salome, guide them. There you go. Ms. Lopez will be calling out the names as we present the diplomas to our students.
It's okay, thank you. Salome Ann Lozoya. Alyssa Angel Lopez. Liliana Becerra. Julia Gonzalez. Abigail Guerrero. Omar Hurtado. Emily Rose Jaime. Ashley Nicole Mares. Ashley Catherine Sofia Martinez. Elizabeth Nunez. Laura Cintique Rangel. José Rosales. Stephanie Carolina Tavera. Eric Christian Vela. And last but certainly not least, Mariah Marie Vera.
Congratulations to our graduates. May each one of you continue to pursue a post-secondary education or a skill that will enable you to lead a successful life and play an important role in the workforce or in our community. Best wishes always for a bright future. Thank you again for everyone here this evening. Seniors, please turn and face your parents, family members, and friends. Seniors, now take your right hand and move the tassel from the right to your left side. You are now high school graduates. Okay, seniors, turn around and face forward. At this time, I'd like to make a special announcement. I know that Mrs. Cavazos will be retiring after this year. So, Mrs. Cavazos, thank you for all the time that you gave to Keys Academy. We really appreciate it. Students, at this time, you will exit, and please return to the stage for a group picture with our board members and our superintendent. So, when we exit, Ms. Lasoya, you will lead them, and then come back to the stage. All right. Congratulations again, seniors.